Hi everybody, it's Daniel with funukuleleprojects, and I have an extremely special instrument next to me. And yes, it's not a ukulele, but if you like an instrument that has a fantastic story, the stories don't get much better than this. You see, this is a quitar and mandolini parlor guitar. This was made probably in the very early 1940s, possibly late 1930s. This belongs to a very good friend of mine, and it was his father's. And here's where the story gets real amazing. You see, Daniel's grandmother, my friend's name is Daniel, gave this to his father in early 1940s. His father took this very guitar with him when he was deployed during World War II in Europe. He ran the big IBM input machines, and it had like essentially a backline position, but would follow the troops as they would go throughout different parts of Europe, recording all the necessary data that you have to record during wartime. And that was his responsibility. And he took this guitar, throughout Europe with him during World War II. Then the guitar came home. And he played it. I'm sure he played it regularly. You can see a lot of wear on it, wear marks. But something happened in the early 60s, probably around 1966. He decided that it is pretty worn out and needed to be refurbished. So he tried doing it himself. And I will show you photos. Because what he did was he got basically like a stain and varnish all in one. I could tell just by looking at what was put on it. And he wiped it all over this guitar. He wiped it on the front, he wiped it on the back, he wiped it right over the bridge. He wiped it right over the fretboard and over the frets. He even wiped it on the inside wherever he could reach. And then when he was done, he proceeded to take it and try to play it. And Daniel told me that he was mentioning this to his brother, that he was having it redone, and his brother said that he'll never forget that his father actually tried to play it after he'd redone it and just sunk his head. He realized he had basically ruined the sound of his instrument. Well, my friend Daniel, who used to live locally, now lives out of state. And so we were visiting on the phone one time, and he asked me what I was doing. I said, well, I've been restoring a lot of ukuleles, vintage ukuleles and things like that. And he asked, could you work on a guitar? I said, yeah, I could. And then he told me the story of what happened with his father's guitar. And I said, well, check out my channel. He checked out my channel, and he saw what I'd done for Jody from Girl Meets Uke's ukulele channel for her, the Accolot Bamboo tenor. And he said, definitely, could you please work on this? I said, yeah, bring it out next time you're in California. So he brought it out, and it needed a lot of work. As you can see from the photos that I already posted, it needed to be completely stripped. The finish was so thick that it had killed the sound of it. The bridge was starting to lift off, and the bridge had actually warped. So the bridge curled up like this. I could have made a new bridge. I could have made a new bridge to match the old, but I really, with these vintage instruments, I like to keep everything as original as possible. So what I actually did was I did the same thing for the bridge that you would do for sides when building an instrument. I heated the bridge, and then when I had it warm enough, I clamped it to a perfectly flat surface and let it sit. And that was all it took. It sat perfectly flat, and then it was ready for gluing. There wasn't anything real structural wrong with it. I just needed to clean it up, completely strip it. I stripped the finish off this beautiful rosewood fretboard and off the rosewood bridge. I left a little bit of the finish actually on the saddle where it doesn't touch the strings, just as a memory of what it was like. And then I stained the mahogany a nice color. I couldn't bear to bring it to the original color because it covered the wood, and it was just this god-awful red. And since it had to be redone, I decided to take it to this color. I'm not going to try to play this. I have a couple of clips of Jason Aramoto, one of the owners of U-Space, playing it. He's a phenomenal musician. And depending on when I actually edit this video, I might have some other clips. He did a couple of short clips, but he may be able to, if we can get together, do a couple longer clips. This is a beautiful sounding instrument. And once again, it was made in the early 40s, possibly late 30s. It was given to my friend Daniel's father in the early 40s. And then he took it with him all throughout Europe during World War II. And brought it back, and then it was terribly damaged in his attempt to refurbish it in the early 60s. It just killed its sound. It has its sound back. And that's about all I'm going to do. I'll let you hear Jason's playing of this magnificent instrument. It was a really fun project, and these are the kinds of projects that I mentioned. They mean a lot to me because I'm giving, in fixing this, it's like I'm giving not only life back to this instrument, I'm giving my friend a piece of his father back, part of his family history back. And that means a lot to me. And I know it means a lot to him. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you in the next video.
Last night I dreamt I was returning, and my heart called out to you, but I fear I am not like I left you. Iki aloha ku home o